afternoon. It is Saturday, September the 23rd, and I came out here after the storm that we had last night, and was grateful to see that my little display, despite how the wind blew down some limbs and stuff, is like untouched. And because when I came out, I noticed these markings, and so because I noticed these markings, I thought it would be a good idea to come out and tell this story while I video it, because they're new, and I don't know what it means that it's, now with some more new markings. There's the old one from the gas thing, and then here's this new one. But anyway, I was having a conversation on the Vine this morning about the history in the context of everything that I posted today, and the history of men buying their families out of slavery. And it's significant because of this narrative that natives owned slaves when natives did not own slaves. But if slaves were allowed to buy their families out of slavery, then it would have to be documented. It also illuminated the fact that if slaves were allowed to buy their families out of slavery, then that means on some level even slaves property ownership had to be acknowledged as a legal issue that could be disputed. And that's significant. It kind of changes the way you think about history as it relates to slavery in the United States. But I suspect that because the deal was between the British and British Africans, and then later British Indians from East India, that when they were here to overtake an area by assimilating because they looked like the natives, they had to let some of the slaves buy their families out of slavery so that they had an excuse for why the Africans had slaves. But of course they weren't calling themselves Africans. And so I just thought that was, I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't considered it. The other thing I'll say about these markings, I don't know what they mean, but when I was looking at the E as I came out here earlier, I thought to myself, EMC squared. That has to be, E equals energy, but EMC squared must be tied in some way to how this slave infrastructure, electronic grid, because it started with electricity and telephone lines. They didn't have cellular technology yet. How those things all tie together. So, cipher unit, and y'all physics and math whizzes and stuff, y'all, that's another way to consider it, especially if you watch the movie Good Will Hunting, to kind of get some perspective on that. And if you know what these markings mean, Jermaine said that if they're gray, that usually means it's sewage, that these are sewage lines. But these are new markings. They just were out here a month ago with the gas lines, and now here they go with this. So, in the context of everything that I have shared this morning, which if I can, I will attach to this video as photographs. I just thought this was all interesting today, with 2 days left in the days of awe before Yom Kippur. Shabbat.